host this seminar. The main purpose of organizing this seminar is to bring the luminaries from industry and academia under one roof to deliberate on digitizing, easytizing, and popularizing Atmanirbharta by business organizations in the contemporary business world. So once again,
भैया
शुक्लां ब्रह्म विचार सार परमा आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणा पुस्तकधारिणीं अभयदाम्
सरस्वती महाभागे विद्यां देहि नमस्तुते नमस्तुते. As per the tradition of Mohanlal Sukhadia University, now we will be having Kulki, the anthem of Mohanlal
उपनिषदों की वाणी श्रीनाथ जी चार तुझा वेदेश्वर सूफी संतों की धरती में आना एक ईश्वर राष्ट्र धर्म का स्वर विजयी हो महिमावंत बने मुक्त गगन में आदर्शों की पुण्य ध्वजा फहरे ज्ञान ज्योति का दिव्य प्रकाश भरे ज्ञानदायिनी मूर्तिमंत महिमा का अभिनंदन युवा शक्ति हो सत्यनिष्ठ संकल्पित अंतर्मन भूमि के ज्ञान की कोटि नमन.
Now, Honorable Vice Chancellor, I will.
भारत को एक संपूर्ण प्रभुत्व संपन्न समाजवादी पथ निरपेक्ष लोकतंत्रात्मक गणराज्य बनाने के लिए तथा उसके समस्त नागरिकों को सामाजिक आर्थिक और राजनीतिक न्याय विचार अभिव्यक्ति विश्वास धर्म और उपासना की स्वतंत्रता प्रतिष्ठा और अवसर की समानता प्राप्त कराने के लिए तथा उन सब में व्यक्ति की गरिमा और राष्ट्र की एकता और अखंडता सुनिश्चित करने वाली बंधुता बढ़ाने के लिए दृढ़ संकल्प होकर अपनी इस संविधान सभा में आज तारीख 26 नवंबर 1949 ईस्वी मिति मार्गशीर्ष शुक्ला सप्तमी संवत 2006 विक्रमी को एतद द्वारा इस संविधान को अंगीकृत अधिनियमित और आत्मार्पित करते हैं. अब मूल कर्तव्य में पढ़ूंगा. मूल कर्तव्य भारत के प्रत्येक नागरिक का यह कर्तव्य होगा कि संविधान का पालन करे और उसके आदर्शों संस्थाओं राष्ट्रध्वज और राष्ट्रगान का आदर करे. स्वतंत्रता के लिए हमारे राष्ट्रीय आंदोलन को प्रेरित करने वाले उच्च आदर्शों को हृदय में संजोए रखे और उनका पालन करे. भारत की प्रभुता एकता और अखंडता की रक्षा करे और उसे अक्षुण्ण रखे. देश की रक्षा करे और आह्वान किए जाने पर राष्ट्र की सेवा करे. भारत के सभी लोगों में समरसता और समान भातृत्व की भावना का निर्माण करे, जो धर्म, भाषा और प्रदेश या वर्ग पर आधारित सभी भेदभावों से परे हो। ऐसी प्रथाओं का त्याग करे जो स्त्रियों के सम्मान के विरुद्ध है। हमारी सामाजिक संस्कृति की गौरवशाली परंपरा का महत्व समझे और उसका परीक्षण करे। प्राकृतिक पर्यावरण की, जिसके अंतर्गत वन, झील, नदी और वन्य जीव हैं, रक्षा करे और उसका संवर्धन करे तथा प्राणी मात्र के प्रति दया भाव रखे। वैज्ञानिक दृष्टिकोण, मानववाद और ज्ञानार्जन तथा सुधार की भावना का विकास करे। सार्वजनिक संपत्ति को सुरक्षित रखे और हिंसा से दूर रहे। व्यक्तिगत और सामूहिक गतिविधियों के सभी क्षेत्रों में उत्कर्ष की ओर बढ़ने का सतत प्रयास करे, जिससे राष्ट्र निरंतर बढ़ते हुए प्रयत्न और उपलब्धि की नई ऊंचाइयों को छू ले। यदि माता पिता या संरक्षक हैं, 6 वर्ष से 14 वर्ष तक की आयु वाले अपने यथास्थिति बालक या प्रतिपाली के लिए शिक्षा के अवसर प्रदान करें। धन्यवाद।
सरवन सिंह सर इधर सर आप भी आ जाइए बिल्कुल सर एक सेकंड सर आप बिल्कुल थैंक यू। सर इधर
Professor Niharika Bora Madam, Senior Most Professor of Nepal, Professor Radheshyam Pradhan Sahib, online present my friend and Deputy Vice Chancellor of Kelaniya University, KAS Ramika Sahib, the Organizing Secretary of the conference, Professor Meera Mathur Madam, Deans of various colleges, Dean PG Study, Proctor, Directors, BOM members, faculty members, participants, media persons, and my dear students and team FMS. It is indeed a matter of proud privilege for me that I am witnessing presence of academic fraternity not only from the country, various parts of country, but from the countries like in our valedictory we will be having from South Africa also, other countries also, countries far away from India. Friends, I would like to share that this topic of international seminar, I and my team FMS, we have been trying to organize this conference on this topic last many days, last many years actually. Because we in Faculty of Management Studies also believe that we have to be in trend. Whatever is the trend of the market, we need to be of that, in that trend only. And that is why 20 years before, when we realized that financial sector is going to boom up, we started MBA FSM course. 10 years before, when we realized that e-commerce market is going to boom up, we started MBA e-commerce. And from last 5 years, when we are seeing that Atmanirbharta is going to be the buzzword of the country, we also want to have something related to that. And it is a coincidence that digitization has come up with this, Digital India has come up with this Atmanirbharta. And therefore, we thought of organizing a conference on a topic which combines these two and gives a message to the public that if digitization is there, it is going to enhance Atmanirbharta. And we decided about this topic, and we are with you with this topic. The real credit of organizing particularly this conference goes to our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sahib, Professor I.V. Trivedi Sahib. Friends, I just want to share with you that Professor has given me a chance to attend ICSSR meeting. And when he has given me a chance to be present there in ICSSR meeting, I thought it is a good opportunity. Wherein Vice Chancellors were there, and Sir has nominated me as his member. So I took this opportunity, and immediately within 2 days, as the idea was already there in our mind, we prepared proposal and submitted proposal by hand there. And we got approval within 20-30 days. And that is how we have organized this conference. It is indeed again my privilege that we have such a Vice Chancellor of university who is too busy, who is having a lot of work, but still, despite of all his busyness, he has made it a point to be present in this inaugural ceremony. And sir, this is the thing which makes us, motivates us for organizing such kind of events. On behalf of Faculty of Management Studies, I would like to welcome you, sir. The chief guest of today's event, inaugural ceremony, Professor Niharika Bora Madam. She taught us when we were in IIM for doing 4 months faculty development program. Look at the humbleness of Madam. Whenever I have given any reply to her on WhatsApp, any kind of message to her on WhatsApp, immediately she has replied, may it be related to this conference or any other greetings or anything. I have received within few seconds message from Madam. And therefore, I thought that if there is a person who can maintain relationship in digital way, there cannot be a person better than in this inaugural ceremony for as chief guest in our inaugural ceremony. And therefore, I believe that Madam's presence would add value. Just before 2 days, I asked Madam, please address our students also. And Madam has immediately agreed. And Madam, after your lecture, I had a word with few students. They were amazed actually. Amazed in the sense that they were having this feeling that now we had conversation with somebody who is in IIM Ahmedabad, which is a dream mostly for all the management graduates. On behalf of Mohanlal Sukhadia University, on behalf of Faculty of Management Studies, I would like to welcome you, Madam. Please give a big round of applause for Madam's presence here in Udaipur. 4 years before, when I visited Nepal, coincidentally I met Professor Radheshyam Pradhan Sahib. Pradhan Sahib was so kind, Pradhan Sahib was so knowledgeable that by his first presence, I that day has made point that I have to invite this professor in Udaipur. And I have been trying because sir is very busy. You would not believe that before 5 or 6 days he has come from USA to Nepal. And then he has made it a point that he will be present here in our today's inaugural ceremony. Professor Pradhan is retired from a university which is the largest university, I believe, of Asia, I think. Largest university, that is Tribhuvan University, Nepal. Sir, we are blessed with your presence. I, on behalf of Faculty of Management Studies, on behalf of Mohanlal Sukhadia University, would like to welcome you, sir, and salute you for making it a point to be present in this inaugural ceremony. The Lady Luck of Faculty of Management Studies, Professor Meera Mathur, and Organizing Secretary of this conference, deserves special mention here in this inaugural ceremony. Despite of her ill health, she was yesterday also present here till 6 p.m. She usually remains in meetings, colleges, plannings, everything with me and always motivating me, having faith in me. Never I had in my 25 years of life experience any kind of objection from Professor Meera Mathur, at least in our faculty of management. And therefore I would like to welcome Professor Meera Mathur also. I would like to welcome our deans. Professor P.K. Singh Sahib is there, Professor C.P.A. Jain Sahib is there, Professor Neeraj Sharma Sahib is there, our Director Avinash Kumar Sir is there, the Director of Computer Science, without whom you could not have seen this online presence. And always on one just phone call, the team is ready. So please give a big round of applause to our all deans, Director, Avinash ji and all. We have academic luminaries present throughout the country. Few have joined and few will be joining tomorrow. I just would like to name and would welcome them in this conference. We have Professor Pavanesh Kumar Sahib, who is Dean at Central University, Mahatma Gandhi Central University, Bihar. He will be chairing our session, one of the sessions. We have Professor Shiv Prasad from MDS University. We have Professor Sapna Patari Madam from Department of Management Studies, Udaipur, from where I am. She was also my teacher. She taught us. Dr. Bhutalal Ajmera Sahib from Bhavnagar. Please give him a big round of applause. Our Ajay Solke Sahib from Kurukshetra University. Asim Modi Bhai is also a very good friend of mine. Asim Modi Sahib from Patan, Gujarat. Sandeep K. Bhatt, who would be joining tomorrow. Professor P. Santi, on my one request, has agreed from Chennai. I thought that if we can have people from different parts of India, I think we can discuss this topic in better manner, academic deliberations in better manner. And that is why I requested, and Madam is present here. Abhit Mukherjee from Delhi would be joining tomorrow. S.K. Dangi from Delhi would be joining tomorrow. And the first consent which I got for this conference is A.I. Chanu Madam from Bodoland University, Assam. Then Dr. Sashi Sangal is also there. And if I have forgotten name of anybody, please excuse me, because a few names which I could remember, I could write, I have written. I once again would like to welcome all the chairs, co-chairs, keynote speakers, and I am missing a name. That is my friend Durlabh Sarkar, Registrar from Rajasthan University, West Bengal. So almost you can see that we have covered up all the country and the guests have agreed to come here. I once again salute you all and welcome you all. We have received around 120 papers in this conference, out of which we have chosen 78 for the presentation in 4 plenary sessions. I would like to welcome offline and online present all my delegates, all the delegates of this international seminar. I would like to welcome media persons. I would like to welcome the students of Faculty of Management Studies who have been working hard to make this conference, this international seminar successful. I would like to salute the team FMS for making this event so grand in just one short statement. I just have asked them that we need to have this as a great conference, and they have made it a great. My salute to all Team FMS, all students of Team. I have been asked not to take the names of Team FMS, so therefore I am not taking the name. Once again, I welcome one and all. If there is anybody who is left out, please excuse me. Welcome to the Faculty of Management Studies, City of Lake, Udaipur, Mohanlal Sukhadiya University. Most welcome to you all. Thank you very much.
What a great welcome speech. Thank you so much, sir. And what a visionary. A big round of applause for this team and their effort. Congratulations to all the contributors.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Professor, I be the very honorable and respected Vice Chancellor of this Mohanlal Sukhadiya University. Professor Niharika Bora Ma'am, Chief Guest. Professor, I am Ahmedabad. Professor Mira Mathur, Coordinator, Training and Placement Center. Professor Hanuman Prasad, Director, FMS, Mohanlal Sukhadiya University. Other members of Organizing Committee. Dignitaries of the dais who have come from different universities, distant universities, professors, deans, directors, media persons, and the most important are the students of this FMS Mohanlal Sukhadiya University. I find that most of the participants are looking so serious. We are organizing international conference, and how we can be so serious. So to begin with, I would like to say that some say Congress Party Zindabad, some say Communist Party Zindabad, and I am here to say Mohanlal Sukhadiya University Zindabad. I am here to say all the dignitaries sitting on the dais Zindabad, and I am here to say all the dignitaries sitting on the dais are also Zindabad, and all the media persons and students are also Zindabad. Some may celebrate Happy Birthday, others may celebrate Happy Valentine's Day, but we are all gathered here to celebrate Happy International Conference Day. How high is the sky? How wide is the earth? You become FMS organizing such an wonderful international conference. Now I believe that you are all higher than the sky and wider than the earth. Congratulations on organizing this international conference. That also on such a relevant theme, digitizing and popularizing Atmanirbharta. So what a great topic we have. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much. I am overwhelmed with joy for the kind of hospitality you have extended, for the invitation you have extended to me. I'm so happy today to attend this international conference at this age of 71 in my life. Thank you so much. I have brought hearty greetings from Tribhuvan University, Nepal, Pokhara University, Nepal, and other universities as well, because I am associated with almost all the universities of Nepal. And after serving Tribhuvan University for 40 years, I have retired, and now I am working as academic director in Udaipur College, one of the renowned colleges for BBA and MBA. Sukhadia University is not a new name in Nepal. Professor K.R. Sharma of Sukhadia University was there in Central Department of Management, Tribhuvan University, as a visiting faculty under Colombo Plan. And since then, we have established a very good relationship with Sukhadia University. Kind of relationship which is something like relationship between assets and liabilities side of the balance sheet. We all understand the kind of relationship that exists between assets and liabilities side of the balance sheet. Very strong relationship. I would rather prefer to say the relationship is more stronger than the relationship between husband and wife. Because these days we have been hearing in news how divorces are taking place. But the kind of relationship that exists between assets and liabilities side of the balance sheet is never going to end in divorce. So in Nepal, we have established very good relationship with this Mohanlal Sukhadia University. And since the visit of Professor K.R. Sharma, he later happened to be the president of Indian Accounting Association also, I need not to tell you all. So many Nepali faculties have come here, did PhD, and now your PhD students are in key positions in Nepal. Some are deans, some are already become professor. So how Mohanlal Sukhadia University has contributed in the development of Tribhuvan University, in my opinion, is beyond description. Hanuman sir, I met him in the international conference organized by Pokhara University, and I was so impressed by his deliberation, by his behavior. Perfect gentleman, very nice person. I find him always wanted to do something for the development of his students, for the development of his department, for the development of his own university. After that, I was also able to invite him to conduct viva voce examination of one of our PhD candidates in Nepal. Again, he contributed so loudly. Then I also kept on meeting him in different international conferences in India, including All India Commerce Conference. So I find that Professor Hanuman Prasad sir is very dynamic, very flexible, and wanted to contribute as much as is possible. Organizing this kind of international conference is always so difficult. I found students working so hard. The team of Hanuman sir working so hard. Yesterday, they were all working till 9 p.m., 10 p.m., I don't know. After that, I went to sleep, but they were still working. And today also early in the morning, I found a lot of noises, and students have come. His team has come and started preparing for this kind of international conference. So wonderful, so beautiful are the spirit of this FMS. I really admire, and I really pray to God for their development, for their well-being. And this kind of international conference is so important. This kind of international conference, we will be able to move from bitterness of life to betterness of life. We will be able to move from darkness of life to brightness of life, and whatnot. This kind of international conference can make us millionaire in knowledge, billionaire in wisdom, and whatnot. Therefore, once again, I congratulate FMS for organizing this kind of international conference. Walls and bridges are made of similar material, made by similar people. But walls divide the people, bridge joins the people. So this FMS Sukhodia University has been able to work as a bridge, joining so many dignitaries from different parts of India and abroad. So once again, my congratulations to FMS and Sukhodia University for organizing this kind of international conference. We also understand that many people born and many people die. But how many of them are able to make an impact? In my opinion, Sukhodia University, FMS is able to make a big impact by organizing this international conference. So once again, congratulations. People say, do or die. But Hanuman sir, you and your department has proved, do before you die. So once again, congratulations, sir. And today, everybody is champion. I find that your students are champion. I find that the faculties are so champion these days. Because everybody knows how to operate desktop, how to operate laptop, how to operate mobile, how to surf in internet. But I would like to tell you that simply by becoming a champion is not enough. We need to become champion of the champions. And how do we become champion of the champions? One of the ways is by organizing this kind of international conference. So once again, congratulations to the team of FMS for organizing this kind of international conference. Let me tell you one story. Once a bird asked honeybee, look honeybee, you make honey after so much of efforts. You make honey after so much of efforts, but human beings come and steal your honey so easily. Human beings come and steal your honey so easily. Don't you feel bad? Then honeybee replied nicely, well, human beings come and can steal my creation, that is honey, but they cannot steal my talent of making honey. So in the same way, the talent that you have developed in FMS, the talent the Hanuman sir has developed by participating here and there in many of the international conferences. Such a talent you have developed which no one can steal. So once again, congratulations. Let me tell you one thing. Please do not reject it, okay? For the sake of your sweetheart. Could you please listen to my 2 lines? Could you please listen to these 2 lines of mine and give a big like in Facebook? These lines are, please do something in your life. Please do something in your life so that people will search your name. People will search your name not in the Facebook but in Google. One day I might die without saying goodbye to you all. One day I might die without saying goodbye to you all. But I will never forget to say thank you, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mohanlal Sukhadiya University, FMS, for the great job that you have done. I understand that Hanuman sir is not the student of history. Hanuman sir is not the student of history. But he has made a history by organizing this international conference. Sir, congratulations. So at the end, Mohanlal Sukhadiya University, hi, all others, bye. Thank you, one and all.
What a cheerful personality. A big round of applause. A big round of applause for all the contributors.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Now we will be moving to the next speech by our chief guest, Professor.
Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor I.V. Trivedi, respected dignitaries on the stage, dignitaries of the stage, and students of FMS MS University Udaipur. I think I'm going to dive right into the whole topic that we've gathered to discuss. There is no doubt in the fact that India, after 2015, when the Digital India was launched, has made great strides. I'm not going to read out from a Wikipedia or a survey or anything, all the various things that have been achieved in the last 7 years. These are no mean achievements. They definitely have made it easy for many of us to transact business, even with our local sabjiwala. So there is a certain level of ease that has gotten introduced. There is a certain reach that has happened across the country. There is a certain number of initiatives that have been taken in health, in education, in finance, in all walks of life to make people's lives easier and to possibly cut down on corruption, to cut down on the losses that happen because of processes and all of that. I'm not going to count all of those because I think you're all well read, you would have all been following them, and it would not be worth our time to actually sit and talk about them. What I would like to do is that because we are all here mostly management scholars, faculty in management schools, and and a number of management students, so we are training and affecting future leaders and managers of the country. So in our research, in our teaching, in our work that we do, what are some of the things that we can look at which would complement all the advances that have been made because of digitizing and because of the call for Atmanirbharta. All of these are really good calls, but I want to go further than this. If I were to, I think the time of the pandemic has been a time of a huge learning for all of us. We have sat on the crossroad where we have been reduced to almost nothing by something that we could not see with the naked eye. We have recognized the resilience that humans have, and we have recognized the potential there is when people get together to do work, use technology and collaboration. In the entire human history, recorded human history, we have never been able to find a vaccine for something like a virus in less than 6 to 8 years. And this time, because of our collaborations, because of the technology, because of the will of the people, because of what we have been able to put together, in less than 18, whatever numbers you count, 13 to 18 months, we had the vaccine, and we have been also able to not only have it, but make sure that billions and billions of people across the world have had access to it. So I think we have, as human beings, we have definitely shown that we have capacity. And as Indians, I think we would need to recognize that if we know what our problems are, we might be able to find some solutions. And it is in that light I'm going to talk about some of the big, hairy problems that I think we as Indians stand, or we, I mean, and this could possibly be taken to other countries, neighboring countries for us as well. But I think for India especially, these remain as some 6 big hairy problems that I'm going to talk about. And talk about why we as scholars of management, of people who work in the university where knowledge is produced, need to focus on. The first and foremost is that, and of course these are in no order of importance, but I'm just going to say 6 of them that I think are important, is that we call ourselves the capital of IT. We say we are the producer, we are the suppliers of IT systems to the world. We were the ones who saved the world from the 2000 problem and so on and so forth. But the reality of the story is that we are adopters of technology and not creators of technology. Even to date, with all the power that we have, with all the fact that the Google, Twitter, Microsoft are all headed by Indians, the reality remains that we are not producers of technology, we are creators of, we are adopters of technology. It is simpler to adopt technology than to create it. But at the end of the day, value gets released, value gets created only when, as a country, we also become producers of technology. We need to be designing technology, we need to be creating technology, we need to be the ones who come up with products such as the Windows product or an iPhone or whatever it is. I'm not saying that these are the best products, but just to say that they have reached across the world. Other than Amul, which is one brand which is across the world with varying levels of acceptance, we don't have a single international brand. We don't, and again, I don't mean brand as just a brand, but something that of a product that we have created. And I think as a country, we need to take the fact that we are we pride ourselves in saying that we are very intelligent people, and which we are. I don't see why we should not be creating technology. Every time I go to any center, any place, for example, we were inaugurating a center of excellence in air conditioning by Blue Star, and we were walking around and they were showing us all the machines, and then there was this one most expensive box, which is the testing of the entire equipment. And I said, so who makes this? Germany makes this. Yeah, I go to a textile lab where we do all kinds of testing. Who makes this? UK makes this. You go to another lab, we go to Siemens, we assemble all of this in India. Look, this is made in India. And who makes this? Germany makes this. Yeah, so the most core part of technology, whether it is testing, whether it is, you know, the software or whatever it is not made in India. And I think we would do a disservice to all of us if we sat on our laurels and we said we had done something, if we at the universities did not take cognizance of it and did not push our students and ourselves to be product creators and not adopters of technology. I can't take pride in the fact that 56% of India uses internet. Yeah, fine, we do use, 56% of India uses internet, but where is our contribution to 5G? Where is our contribution to the research and technology is a question that we need to ask. So that's one big problem. The second problem is that, you know, you can go by whichever reports. There are a whole lot of reports. There are reports that are saying that manufacturing sector is really growing in India. There are reports that are saying it is shrinking. There are reports as of day before yesterday which says the industrial sector has taken a hit in India. There are reports that will tell you that, you know, we are going great guns in defeating China. Yeah, let's not fool ourselves. Yeah, the fact remains that our manufacturing sector is ailing. Yeah, it is ailing for many reasons. We have a lot of economists and finance faculty here. Working capital remains an issue. Our banking processes remain an issue. Our employee processes remain an issue. And I think the fact that we don't have value addition in our manufacturing, we are either doing contract manufacturing for somebody, or we are doing 30-year-old technology as manufacturing. We can never be competitive, we can never be world leaders. We are not even going to be able to actually fulfill India's needs if in the way our manufacturing sector is. And I think it is important that we realize that our spending, the way we spend on manufacturing sector itself is very lopsided. MSMEs in India actually produce 80 to 90%, again depending on whichever report you're looking at, and the biggest spends by the government and by other agencies are on the 10 or 20% of the large MSMEs. So who produces is being starved, and who is kind of producing 10 to 20% and is very shiny and glittery is the one who's getting all the attention. I think again, as a nation, as scholars, we need to take attention to that and we need to correct it so that we can actually be Atmanirbhar, right? That we can actually be our own producers. The third thing I want to say is that, you know, and before I go on to the third problem, I think we all have found during COVID that if I wanted a car delivery, it was delayed by 6 to 8 months. If I wanted to buy 10 computers for my department, it was impossible to buy because chips were not available. If I wanted to, so we had a huge chip shortage, right? So from handsets to Cisco to computers to cars, everything was affected during that time. And the precious question that I would want to ask is, why are we not chip producers? Yeah, why are we net importers of chips, and why were we so dependent on it, and the entire supply chain was affected because of it? Again, Just as an example, India has dreams to be solar, to have alternative renewable energy, and so on and so forth. Excellent dreams, excellent goals. We should have done this 20 years ago, but the reality is that we still do not produce solar panels at the cost and at the efficiency at which we can import them from other countries. And I think if we continue to depend on something as basic for solar panels for the country, then we will never be solar fully solar available, because anytime something like COVID can happen and our entire supply chain can get affected. And I don't think it is rocket science that we can't develop it. Yeah, even rocket science we can do, but solar panels are not rocket science, and there is no reason why we should not be manufacturing them ourselves. The third question that the third big problem that I want to talk about is the fact that the manpower, in India also needs a sea change, both in their productivity, skilling, and attitude. Clem's report, RBI has a Clem's report, and there is a worldwide report on productivity. It is not a matter of pride for us to see that we are among the last nations in terms of our productivity per dollar per hour, right? It is, you can challenge the report, you can say, no, they did not calculate it correctly, but you can see any world OECD report, and we are we are a large nation with a very low productivity per hour per dollar in the nation. Who is responsible for it? We as faculty who teach our students, and our students who go work in these factories and these places are responsible for it. And I don't think we can keep closing our eyes to it. I think it is important that we as management scholars start to look at what is it that we can do to actually improve the productivity of people. Our skilling levels are very low. In Korea, the percentage of skilling is 97.3. In India, it is 2.7%. Put together, we are 100%. Sorry, not the right combination to make. But the reality is that we need to improve the skilling levels, and irrespective of where and who I want to hire or who we want to look at, while we have many applicants, we have very few skilled people in any context. The third thing is the attitude. I sit on a board of a manufacturing company which has a factory in China, and it has 2 factories in Gujarat. And we were speaking about, what is the difference between producing in China versus producing in India. And something very interesting, the owners said that in China, if we pay people for, let us say, 30 hours of work, and for 2 weeks, if we give them only 20 hours of work and we still pay them for 30 hours of work, the worker comes to me and says, sir, do you have a problem? Am I not performing well? Why are you giving me only 20 hours of work? Please only pay me for 20 hours. Yeah. In India, you pay somebody for 30 hours and you ask them to work for 20 hours, they will say, mere ko exploit kar rahe hain. And this is a reality. So again, am I giving the best for where I'm getting my bread from, right? That attitude seems to be lacking. There is an attitude of entitlement. There is an attitude of, if you have given me the job, it is your responsibility to feed me. It is not my responsibility to produce for you or to give service to you. And I think in closed doors, we can talk about it, and we need to correct it now before it becomes too late. The fourth big hairy problem that I think which we are suffering is that India is one country where when you walk around the streets, whether it is a tier 2 city, whether it's a tier 1 city, I have a feeling that I'm walking on a garbage dump, right? There is hardly a place which is clean. There's hardly a place which is free of litter, whether it is our lakes, whether it is our rivers, whether it is our oceans, whether it is our roads, whether it is our gullies or streets, it doesn't matter, they are full of dump. I don't know, as a country, what kind of education have we been giving to our people that they don't seem to even have a little pinch as they throw a piece of garbage on the street. Many times when I have pointed it out, even to educated people, they look at me as if I'm from another planet. Yeah, why are you telling us to not throw garbage? And it's like, how can you? But the question I'm trying to say is, what kind of education are we giving? What kind of consciousness have we raised in our students that they can actually question somebody on some of these things? And unless we change some of these basic things, we cannot be a developed nation no matter what we tell ourselves. I think we have an added problem to the garbage situation, and that is what is happening because of the delivery, the e-commerce. Yeah, I don't know if you follow this news, but it is amazing to hear that Amazon has seen a 29% increase in the waste that they have generated, just plastic. So they have generated 300 million kg of plastic dump in the oceans, which is a 29% increase from last year. Zomato, Swiggy, and all our other, favorite delivery partners generate more than 2,200 tons of plastic every month. Yeah, and can you imagine the clogging that we are creating as a result of it, and not being even mindful of it? And then Zomato, Dipinder Verma, Dipinder Goyal, last month, I think in October, he said, we will become neutral, we will become plastic neutral for every ounce of plastic that we will send to people's homes. We will recycle it somewhere else. Recycling, my dear friends, is very useful, but it is equally polluting, equally expensive, and it does not solve the problem. It only postpones the problem. So we have to figure out something else. So my fifth problem that I'm going to talk about is again extremely important, is the fact that given the size of our population, we need to create sustainable models of consumption and manufacturing. We cannot simply copy the kind of models that exist, because then even a generation from now, maybe there will be no planet to inherit. Yeah, we are keepers of the planet, we are makers of the system, and we cannot be happy with saying that it's not my problem that so much of land is being destroyed, so much of forest cover is going, because at the end of the day, development counts, right? What development, for whom development, are questions that students in classrooms need to debate, to question, and to ask. Because if they don't ask it, we will still be dead and gone. The students can actually say, okay, those were the oldies who destroyed the environment, but the fact is you are the ones who are going to be living in it. So I think it's important that we ask the question, even as simple thing as, if you look at, there are studies to show that, let us say, for every pound of product that is created, there are studies to show that there is almost 2,000 to sometimes 800 ounces of material that is wasted. Can we in our classrooms actually start looking at new ratios of profitability? Can we divide it by waste generated? Because if we don't look at the waste, in management we often say whatever gets measured is what gets done. If we don't measure the waste, then it will simply get generated and it will be thrown away, and we will always keep thinking that we are profitable. So maybe we need to think of new models of profit calculation, we need to think of new models of looking at how we are going to develop and manufacture. The last thing that I want to say is that, at the end of the day, any community, any society, any nation can only develop if its development is inclusive. Yeah, and unfortunately, even digitization is not inclusive at this point of time. I think there is an October 2022 study which shows that women, especially in rural areas, have have not been included in the digital as much as the men. The poor and the uneducated have difficulty in the digitization, irrespective of how much we think. In my stint in Delhi, we were working with students who basically came from slums, who came from, migrant laborers, children who are now coming into higher education, irrespective of the fact that they had passed class 12. They do not still know how to upload a Google form. They still do not know how to, so very basic digital literacy things which we think we have already learned and mastered and taught to everybody don't exist in our classrooms. Let us not fool ourselves by saying we've digitized and say, we've done that and dusted that. So I think it's important that we look at it. And the last thing I want to say is that, McKinsey's report shows that 70% of digitization efforts within organizations fail. Only 30% succeed, which means that much resources that are spent on digitization actually get wasted. So again, as management scholars, can we figure out better and more efficient ways of making sure that digitization succeeds? Even if that number goes up by 10%, I think we make a significant saving and we make a significant step forward. So while it is so important for us for the nation leaders to actually create the policies and the vision for all of what we are talking about today, I think it is important, as important for scholars and students and people who are involved in making that vision a reality, to have a reality orientation, to create plans, to educate, to create knowledge and make it a success. And that is when, with the vision and the real plans, we will really make a development. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for showing us a real picture, COVID era. I again request all the editors to come on the stage. This conference was conducted in February 2022. 150 participants participated globally, and we received around 100 papers. Out of that, 48 papers were selected for the conference, and from that, we took 15 best papers and published this edited book. Chief Editor, Professor Hanuman Prasad. Editor, Professor Meera Mathur. Associate Editor, Dr. Thank you so much, everyone. And we are having one more book release. Book name is Sustainable Tourism, Our Planet, Our Responsibility, which is a compilation of academics from various backgrounds research. Chief Editor, Professor Meera Mathur, and Editor Chandrasekhar and Harsha Kumawat.
यहाँ से दोनों चीज़ करते हैं। चालू कर लेना पूरा देना। अरे वाइड एंगल नहीं, टेली भी लेना।
Congratulations. Thank you so much, everyone. Now we are moving towards the presidential address. Honorable Vice Chancellor I.V. Trivedi, sir.
Shiv Prasad ji will come from Ajmer, another professor from Jodhpur, Avinash Pawar, our young, dynamic faculty, Sachin Gupta, our other faculty members, the various dignitaries and delegates who have come from the different parts of the country, dear students. At the outset, I am thankful to the FMS in general and Professor Hanuman Prasad in particular for inviting me in this very, very important international conference. It's really a very pertinent and it's really, I can say that a very need-based seminar which was conducted by this Faculty of Management Studies. My half work has been done by Professor R.S. Pradhan. So I will just say that kindly give a big salute to Professor Hanuman Prasad and clap him as much as you can because he has completed my job. The chief guest, Hora, has really raised very issues. She talked about the adopter of the technology, value addition, scaling, sustainability, and so many things she has raised. But I am always of the opinion that I always see half glass full. So when I talk about this, there are certain things which India is still in the world market. There are challenges definitely. There are geopolitical scenario also, where you've seen the Ukraine and England, South Korea, North Korea war, China war, so many other issues are there. Even in globalization and anti-globalization, the role of our European Union, energy crisis, food crisis, and what not. Health, pandemics, so many issues as raised. But at the same time, madam, I feel that this country has adopted so many things, and particularly university's role is important nowadays. We will have to have the courses on cyber security. The big problem is of the cyber security. Yesterday only I was reading that Raghuram Rajan has said that the next year would be very difficult for India as well as the rest of the world also. Because if we do not implement the reforms very quickly, then there would be a crisis in the world. So that should also be taken into mind. Madam has rightly said about the inclusive growth, inclusive education also. So what I feel that the new education policy, we have taught so many things, but we will have to have inclusive education where she rightly said that 70% of these people are not connected. But at the same time, madam, I would like to say, basically I am the vice chancellor of the tribal university, where majority of the students are now well versed with the internet and everything. Even they are doing so many things. Online form, it was a dream few years back, but now everything online. So they are adopting, our Indians are very fast in adopting the things. So I believe that in a few years, you will find that our students, our problem is solved. Madam has rightly said about the Amul, that's very wonderful thing. Courier was asked by the one of the CEO of this Amul very recently, Sodi, okay, what you see, this is for the management students. So what you see when you employ anybody, when you take the interview, what you see in the students, he said on three things: integrity, integrity, and integrity. That is only the needed to be a successful employee. So here the students, it is for you that you must have the integrity in your life. Whatever the things you can learn later on, but if you are not having the integrity, you will have to have the problems. With this digitalization, I believe that in a few years, more than 4 lakh plus service centers will be created in the rural sector. So definitely the things are good. Another side of the coin is bright, and I believe that but we'll have to be a self-reliant. This should be the mass movement. Unless and until it is not the mass movement, the self-reliant only would be the best word. So for that also you'll have to be very practical, very energetic, and all the another view, my madam, is of the view that we were running IAM here also in Udaipur in this same campus only. And in FMS also we were running the management program. So when I was in meeting in Delhi in MHRD, I said that if you want to see the India and Bharat, please come in our university. At the one side we have the IAM, they are getting 10,000 rupees per lecture. Another side where the same faculty is taking class in FMS, he is paid 1,000 rupees only. So this difference of India and Bharat is also creating a big problem in our country. And I may say that these FMS students are catering the needs of the country more in comparison to the IAMs of the country. So they are serving the global companies, they are serving the international companies. But our students are here in India and they are catering the needs of the country. Anyway, these are the certain ideas in my mind. I am really thankful to the madam and R.S. Pradhan sir. On my behalf, on behalf of the university, I welcome to you too also. And dear students and the delegates who have come, whatever the lapses are mine. And what are the good things? It goes to the Numan Prasad. So please bear with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing such a great thought. Last but not the least, for vote of thanks, I would like to invite Professor Meera Mathur ma'am, Director of Hotel and Tourism Department. She has received various prestigious awards, including Women of Substance Award, Best Researcher Management Substantial Consumption Award, and she is also a member of numerous professional bodies, societies, and editorship of journals. So it's over to you, ma'am, to present the vote of thanks.
I would also like to thank Professor Niharika Vora ma'am to grace today's inaugural function as our chief guest. And ma'am, you have really opened various dimensions for us to think over. I would like to thank our guest of honor, Professor Pradhan sir. I am grateful to Professor K.S. Damika sir, who could not join us for certain reason. I am grateful to all the deans of our university, Professor P.K. Singh sir, Professor C.M. Jain sir, Professor Neeraj Sharma sir, Professor B.L. Verma sir, Dr. Avinash Pravar, who are gracing this function and with their presence. I am grateful to the renowned professors from the different universities, Professor Shiv Prasad sir, my teacher, Professor Sapna ma'am, Professor Sarkar. Words fail me to thank Professor Hanuman Prasad sir, who is the central force behind this international seminar. Dear students, I really say from this platform that it is because of Hanuman sir that we are having this international seminar here on this very day at a very short notice, because he could get this sponsorship and he left no stone unturned to make this a grand success. Thank you so much, sir. I thank the IT team for the smooth functioning, media team for covering the entire event. I would now like to thank all the members of the organizing committee who are working day in and day night to make this seminar a grand success. You won't believe me that they are early in the morning and late in the evening to check out the minute details so that the stay of the guests and the smooth functioning of this conference can take place. I thank the staff of the University Guest House, FMS and THMP. At the end, I would like to thank each and everyone who has directly or indirectly helped us in making this a great success. And 3 cheers for lovely talented students of FMS and THMP. I am not taking any names of any committee because this is our function, so you are part and parcel of the success. And before I end, I would like to say that FMS has been reigning the flag of FMS very high for the last year. We have organized a number of international conferences and national events. The first started with ICSSR 2021. It was held during 12 to 14 August. Then 27 to 29 December 2021, we were fortunate to organize the 104th Annual Conference of Indian Economic Association on Bharat-centric approach to economic development, post-COVID lessons. And lastly, we had the privilege to organize from 25 to 27 February 2021 International Conference on Starboard Management Practices, Sustenance in COVID era. And this latest one you are also witnessing. I would like to mention here that we have got 6-7 students club who are doing very good work. The first among them is Tarang. The national level manifesto of which Professor Hanuman sir is the coordinator. So we organize it regularly under the banner of Tarang, Ekatra and Fresco. These are, you can say, the milestones. Then we have a Sankalp club who is looking after the social work along with the NSS club of the university, donation drive. Okay. So thank you so much for being here and gracing our function. That's all from my side. And enjoy your stay with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thanks again all the dignitaries for